Breaking welding traditions. Good rising family, Black Feniks checking in. This morning I'm inside of the HogOn University at Mama's house, and I wanted to talk to you about breaking welding traditions. Everything that HogOn University, HogOn Welding LLC is built upon is breaking the traditional thinking and ways that we was taught that we had to do certain things, especially with welding. Um, you know, we're not getting the information from people that's trying to encourage us to be bosses, to have uh, businesses and be independent. Majority of the information we get is how to get some employment, how to stay employed, how to keep someone else employed, how to always pay a middleman. It's always somebody in between you got to pay to do this or that. And I remember when I first started welding, one of the things that I thought, one of the traditional things, I'm gonna say the first thing was you had to have a high school diploma or a GED. Family, you don't need no high school diploma or GED. But I did get my GED in prison. And then I went to VOTEC. I had to get my GED in prison to actually go to VOTEC to learn the skill. Now, if I would have went to a private situation, I wouldn't have to go through that, and I could have still got the job, because the job that I've been on since I've been incarcerated never asked for a high school diploma, never even asked to see my welding certificate from the VOTEC facility that I went to. That was like 14 months. Never asked for it, family. And something else I want to shine some light too on. We think we got to have we think we have to be certified. Like, we get the certified part confused, I believe. You can go through a program and have a certificate. You can go through a college program and actually, they can actually have you pay for your certs, and you can get your AWA certs to have your to be a certified welder then, but you have to keep them up. And some people think they got to go through that facility, or they got to have a company sign off on them. If you are the company, if you are the individual that's doing it, you can sign off on it, family. I just want to let you know that. If you are the business, the individual, the sole proprietor, the LLC, you can sign off on your own AWS paperwork, because you are the company. I just want to state that out there, because a lot of things that I thought that you couldn't do, you can do, you know? And another thing about welding that I want to point out, there's many options, fam. You know, sometimes, I don't know why it was promoted that it's like it's only one welding. And most people would say, you ain't a welder until you can stick weld in all positions and pipe weld. And I'm not going to knock that, because stick welding is a true art to me. So, you know, for those that want to get into the stick welding and do some stick welding in the field, or just learn how to do it, it is an art, family. But stick welding can be limited in certain areas. So MIG welding process can actually be a little bit more beneficial, because there's two processes in one: hard wire, flux core. So to me, learning how to MIG weld now could be a better benefit for someone who's actually jumping into it. He can still be a welder, because you can transfer those skills over once he learned the concept. And that's what we get caught up at too. We think we got to have a big facility, or a certain name brand piece of equipment, or it got to be a big building sitting on the corner before we can start teaching. Family, if I was going to wait to start helping people until I get all of this stuff, nobody would have been helped to this day. Nobody. I wouldn't have helped anybody, because I didn't decide to wait. I decided to say, you know what? I'm going to do it myself. And that's one good thing about being a welder, man. You can invest in your own. I have seen welders say they've been welding 20 years. Boy, I tell you what, those are the ones I really don't like. They say they've been welding 20 years. They ain't got two hoods. They ain't got no type of a $500 welder. Come on, man. You've been doing it for that long and you haven't invested in your craft at all. You're just working for somebody, and some people do that. But it's hard for you to say you independent and you this and you that and you haven't invested in your craft, fam. So we have to break those welding traditions, and that's what I do. I'm breaking all traditions because I'm from a cotton field plantation family, and I don't believe anything that the white folks told us off that cotton field, off this plantation. I know the whole gimmick was to keep us enslaved, to keep me on that field. No, so I'm not listening to them. I'm doing my way. I'm being independent. That's why they went to the north to get to do something. But in the South, people still got that same mentality thinking you got to have a job. I still have people tell me, oh, that's the company you work for? Well, who gonna let you do that? Who gonna let me do it? This is the mentality though. So those are some of the traditional ways we have to break, especially in the South, because when you see someone like me, cultured with a beard and gold teeth, you'll think I'm hood, and I am from the hood, but I'm not hood though. Like, I don't carry myself like that, but I am from here. You know what I mean? It's in my DNA 100%. You know what I'm saying? But I don't carry myself like I don't carry myself like I can't think for myself. You know what I mean? But when a person sees me from the introduction, they tend to judge me until we hold a conversation. So, I have just learned to break traditions. And, even with welding, like I even had with being a contractor. At first, I was going to do the contracting thing. And I was about to pay all the money. And then I realized everything I had to do, I had to go kiss somebody else. But even to get the contract jobs, I still had to go through the man. I still had to get accepted. I still had to get judged, pay somebody else to go in for me to represent. Like, it was still, to me, my thing was I couldn't get past the judgment of, oh, it's him. Or can you do the job? They'll see my stuff, all of my criteria, all of my certs, all of my requirements. I got everything they need. They'll still ask me, can you do the job? So, what I learned personally, it kind of bothered me as a welder, because even though you chasing jobs or you got your services where people judge, I said, you know what, I'm going to create a service. Ain't nobody going to judge. If I got a certain business and I say, I provide this, you come to me for a service, the lights on, you come to me, I help you. And most time it'll be good like that if I provide a product and a service. So I learned that if I put a product on the shelf as a welder, ain't nobody going to judge me, fam. I never seen nobody walk into a grocery store or to a parts store or to somewhere they had tools and say, man, I wonder what color a person made this. I wonder where this come from. They don't even worry what country. Most time they know it probably. They say, I don't know if this American made, or let's just say made in the U.S. So it's something that we have to think about. And, stressing things that's handmade and saying they made in the U.S., that's a great thing too, because we need to know that we can make and produce here on this soil. And I just want to say this for the record. Everything that you're going to do independently, it's going to be a different approach from what you're taught from having a job. Like, the way you have to do everything, taxes, all of that. We get intimidated by our taxes, thinking, oh man, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. There's so many tax breaks, family. There's so many tax benefits of being independent. Like, I never worry about that. Every time I did my paperwork and do my stuff, like I do my taxes, I pay my, it's not no big thing to worry about once you know the system. It's kind of like what Trump said. Why get mad at me that I'm using the loopholes that was designed by the system? When I heard him say that, I said, hey, I got to go find some loopholes, family. There's some loopholes out here. It is, fam. So I took a tax class soon he got into office when I was in Feniks, so I can learn the tax situation and learn how to write this off, learn how to do this and that I didn't know. And I'm always learning, fam. Like, I think that we never should get to the point where we're not learning, where we're not evolving with new information. But we have to break the traditional thinking of thinking that education got to be out of college or got to be out of certain facility. And I just want to state this for a record. Right before I trained a young gentleman, when he came here, he said, oh man, this is nice. When he seen my shop, and then he was like, he said, man, it's going to really be nice once you get you a big building, you know what I'm saying, and get it up. And I'm like, yeah. I said, but I've been turning people into bosses right now though. I've been helping people get career life-saving money now. Why should I wait on a building to do it? But you know, I told him, I said, well, once you get big, I know you'll come back and bless me, and I use some of that money on the building. You know what I mean? That's how you got to do it, fam. You know, I come down here and I renovated my mom's house. You know what I mean? And I turned this carport into a car garage to kill 7 birds in one stone. Put my material in here I was working on, have a place to chill. You know, have a man cave, and my man cave is the welding shop, fam. I like to make things, tinker, fabricate, and teach. And prices went up on materials, on getting certain things. So on buying certain products, to making certain products, I kind of slowed down and started focusing on the education. But I still sell the products. I also have blueprints, welding skid blueprints online. So you can visit my website at HogOn2017. That's HogOn2017. And you can check out some of the blueprints. And the blueprints are made to help a person gain their independence. If you're a welder getting out of school, want to build your own products, you order the prints, you make it, you reproduce it. You know what I mean? So it's a situation where I'm empowering someone else. And we have to learn that we can do that. Like, there's so many things we can do. We just have to break the traditional chains of thinking there's only one way, you know? It's, you know, I can't tell you how many white contractors and white welders and have inboxed me and said different comments thinking that, oh, it got to be like this. I was told you couldn't do it like this. You got to have this. I'm like, hey, man, we came to America with no shoes on our feet, brother. None. You can strap your bootstraps up. All we got is barefoot. So we're going to have to get it the way we get it. So if I get a student in here and you see him don't have no boots on, don't make a comment, man, he needs some boots. He might ain't got the money for the boots. But you see, when the class was ended, he got the boots. See, it's okay. See, most people don't understand. We got to start from somewhere. But Americans quick to judge. You know, they quick to set us free from the field and then judge you by the way you walk. I wouldn't walk like that. I wouldn't wear my clothes like that. I wouldn't name my kids like that. I'm so sick of that, family. I'm so sick of those traditional ways that's why I'm trying to do something different. What do you mean by what is the best place to start? Elaborate on that. So, you know, I'm just so sick of the traditional ways. Salute this morning. You know, I just feel like we got to stop listening to them, family. You know what I mean? You know, it's all about money. The United States of America, I mean, this is a system. You have to think about money. It's economics. So we have to think about majority of the things that they do and they tell you to do is going to be go get a job or tied to a job, or you got to go to college, or you got to go in $15, $20, $30, $40,000 in debt in order to have a career. No, you don't have to do none of that. You can invest in yourself, though. And you invest in a liability like a vehicle, spend $30,000, $20,000 on a vehicle to take you to a job. Why can you spend $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 on your career to be independent? It all depends what city you in, bro. I don't know where you at as far as a welding job. I would say this, though. I'm a networker, and I would say use all your social media outlets. Indeed, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, putting ads out, passing. I like, you gonna have to hustle, fam. You know what I mean? But it can be done. Like I'm gonna say this. I have got some great jobs welding and traveling. But I'm gonna say something. None of them jobs fell in my lap, family. All of them, I was looking for them. I was searching, putting something out. I just seen a new ad popped up. And I'm like, oh man, where they at? Called them and checked them out. You're gonna have to hustle, fam. Like, for real, you're gonna have to figure out what radius you wanna go in, how far you wanna travel, you know, where you wanna go, and start looking in those areas. If you in a certain spot and you wanna go to a certain city, start looking in that city for welders. Start looking in that city for welding jobs and opportunities, you know, for contractors, you know, whatever you're trying to do, fam. That's one thing I learned. I'm going to have to say this because, you know, I love saying it. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. It's really that easy, fam. Once you get it in your mind what you want to do, you just got to do the proper hustling, you know, start preparing, you know. So I have heard guys say, man, it's hard to find a job. Nah, fam, jobs are everywhere. Now, you might have to relocate. You might have to move around. You might have to stop a habit or clean up or something. You know what I mean? Pipe welding. Yeah, man, that's pipe welding jobs everywhere, bro. And Sometimes you got to switch it up. And I'm going to tell you something else. Another thing about welding traditions that we got to break. We have to be combination of welders as far as when something is going slow and you just eating it off this, you need to know how to readjust your things. So, okay, I'm going to get this money. Okay, I know I can't get this bag, how much, but I can do a little bit and get this bag. So if I'm making $20 an hour consistently, but at first I was making 35, but I ain't been working for 4, 5, 6 months. $20 an hour is quite nice if it's consistent. So we got to be humble sometimes. So, okay, let me get this little bag. Well, since this right here is slowed down, you know what I mean? Or have another hustle. Like I always say, never depend on one source of income. Never depend on one source of welding. That's why I love it. It's 4 processes, fam. We are mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and spirit. So if you got 4 processes of welding, we need to network like that. We need to network that side, that side, that side. You know what I mean? To bring something out. Yes. And you know what? You create passive income. See, a lot of people say you always have to work for passive income. You have to do the work to create the passive income. Once you create it, you can sit it to the side, a course, a program, whatever you got, and let it work itself. A book, a video, a novel, whatever you got, a print, and you can allow your product to work itself, but you have to create the product first. So we have to break those welding traditions, fam. And I'm only coming to you live this morning because I'm just tired of people thinking that there's only one way to do something. And I'm most definitely tired of people hitting me up, having an opinion about how I'm doing it. It's how I'm doing it, fam. You know, last time I checked, fam, when it's time for us to go, and when God called us home, we got to lay in that grave and that spot by ourselves. So, you know, unless you're giving me some good game, like, I don't have to do it the way the system said do it for me to make it. If I was doing it the way the system said do it, I wouldn't be doing it right now, fam. Like it told me I couldn't do it. It told me it's not possible. The different type of opportunities, as far as, you know, what do you mean by that? The different opportunities as for what? Business, welding, traveling, you know what I mean? You kind of caught me off guard with that one. But there are different opportunities though out here. But I will say this though, we have to network, man. We got this phone in our hand, fam. You don't know how many jobs I have found. You don't know how many good jobs I found on Craigslist, on Indeed, throwing my resume out there, fishing, seeing what's going on, checking out what's popping up. You know, that's how you got to do it, fam. You know, to me, I never went fishing before in my life. But I love the concept of fishing. And that's what I do with my jobs and when I'm networking and looking for work. I use the concept of fishing. I set some bait out there, sit back and chill. I check the bait every day. Every couple minutes, I check it. I ain't nothing on it. That's how you got to do it, fam. Because as long as you set something out and you prepare your skills right, something going to come, but you're going to have to get off. You're going to have to get off your butt, though, and figure something out, though. As far as welding opportunities, man, there's too many. From fabrication to installing to repairs to building products, like the list can go on and on. And the crazy thing is, so many other fields need welders. Some electricians need welders. Some plumbers need welders. Some carpenters need welders. General contractors need welders. Like, you just have to network yourself properly. One love. Thanks for checking in. Salutes to Africa checking in, man. We appreciate you checking in with us this Friday. You know, I feel like all we have to do is network ourselves. The opportunity is there. We have to break the traditional ways of thinking something's going to fall in our lap, like thinking it's just going to come to us. I ain't never had nothing come to me family but problems. I was born with a couple of them. You see what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing never been just give. I had to figure out a way to go get it. You know what I mean? Everything I got up to this point. So that's why, you know, I stress, and that's why I stress HogOn. That's what the movement of HogOn means. Hustling over grounded obstacles naturally. Honoring our generation ornamental nature. Meaning we're going to honor those who came before us, honor those who build. But the goal is to hustle over grounded obstacles naturally, meaning it's going to be something you're going to go through. You're going to have to get over, go through, or go around. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say that because we look at things a little different when it comes to the struggle. It's like we don't want to struggle. We don't want to have no growing pains. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna have to. And I'm gonna say something too. Break the traditions of not paying for information. Like I have consultations that I charge $150 to $300 for, from helping you start your business, from helping you pick your career and giving, being a welding coach. Like I have different things, but you can't expect a person to teach you how to make money and you don't want to spend no money. You want to make some money, but you don't want to spend none. You want the person who has figured it out to give it to you for free. No, it doesn't work like that. Even having that mentality shows that you're not ready for the position you're trying to get to. It's almost like I want to be rich, but I hate the rich man. You might need to ask him how he got there. It's a process. You can't hate the process. Pay homage. And then tell them how you'll go, where you'll go from there. But I had brothers that invested in my consultations and they had took them over the top. Then I had people that just, I say, hey man, I give you welding tips and tricks for free. And I do videos and, I love to give information. But when it comes to making money, I got to charge you for that, fam. They charge me. They charge us all the time. So, but I'm going to give it to you at a price where you're going to be able to make money from it. But it shows me if you're serious, because my time is not valuable. I mean, my time is valuable. I don't want to waste my time with someone talking an hour, 2 hours on the phone for nothing. To me, I'm going to tell you something. Time is valuable, family. People love to waste time in the South. They'll waste your time. They'll sit there and talk to you for hours about nothing. But one thing I realized, if I give you an hour, if we sit here and hold a conversation right now, we've been going live about 20 minutes or so. The time we have invested in this video, I can't get that back out of my life. It's gone. It's gone. I invested it. But if I invested where I know that, man, this is going to help someone, grow somebody going to get something from it, I'm okay with it because I'm knowing that my life consists of time. So I don't want to waste my time on things that I know that's going to consume my life when I could be doing something else or enjoying life or having some fun or just just enjoying some peace and quiet if that's, or some rest, whatever, you know what I mean? But I feel that we have to break the traditional thinking of not paying it forward, not paying for education. Family, I had paid for a lot. I had paid for things I ain't even get from it what I paid for. Like, man, I didn't pay for this and I ain't even get nothing out of it. I done did that too. You gonna do that too. You gonna spend some money just going like it's gonna blow away in the wind. And then it might be some money you spend gonna be the best couple $100,000 you ever spent. I done been there too. You know what I mean? So I feel like we're gonna pay for information just like we pay for clothes and the image that we want. When you walk up and you want to get a certain woman as a male, you want to dress a certain way. You might have $3,000 outfit on to get this woman. You know what I'm saying? That's how we think. But when it comes to investing in our career, spending $100 for someone, $150 for a consultation that someone can help you make money, you question it like, could you explain to me how it's going to help me? The people at the mall ain't got to pull your leg to buy them shoes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's evident how it's going to help you. If you're watching me doing it and you got the audacity to ask me, then you know it's working. That's the way I look at it, fam. You know what I mean? So I feel we got to break that mentality. Like, we're going to have to, hey, if you don't pay for it, man, you going to pay for it or you going to work real hard for it. You're going to stand in the line. And by the time you get to the head of the line, fam, the club might be closed. That's why I love the VIP. See, VIP just means, it don't mean you special. It just means you value your time enough to say, hey, I'm going to go on and pay a little extra. So I ain't got to wait in the line like everybody that's trying to get it for free. Yeah, they can get it for free if the line don't close. But I got some things to do and I want to go on and be mingling. So I'm going to spend my little extra and I'm going to have a VIP section, me and my crew, because we understand the value of time is more important than the value of money. That's a tradition we got to break, fam. Time is more valuable than money. If we think about it, money is really fake. It ain't real. Money ain't real. Gold, diamonds, assets is real. Money ain't real. That's what they use to control us with. It's not real. But your asset is. Your skill is. The ability to build a building is. The ability to save a life, to heal someone is. Being a doctor is. Being a teacher is. You see what I'm saying? That can always make money. Skills, talents, gifts, abilities. Money though? Paper? That's like toilet tissue, fam. It is what it is. We blow it. We just buy things with it. You know, most people just, they get to a certain level in life so they can get things. They don't want the money. You know how many people I have seen with a house full of things and they got no money. They got more money in their driveway and in their closet than they do in their bank account or savings account. And that's another tradition we have to break. So, you know, even with the young brother, I just, you know, taught. One thing I can say about him that he really was motivated on learning. And as I was teaching him, he was doing his own little research. And he got comfortable and he was like, man, I can do this. I really like this now. And what we did was the last session, we had some extra time. I'm like, he said, man, can I burn a little flux core? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna let you burn some flux core. So for the last hour, we burning flux. He did good, fam. But you know one thing he noticed? He said, man, you know what? I think I like the MIG welding and TIG welding better than flux and stick. And I said, why is that? He said, well, it's a little more smoky, a little messier, and I like more clean things, you know. So he might end up just being a nice shop fabricator, a good one at that, because he got a good eye. He found this niche. He said, no, I don't want to do this one, but I like this one. Family, we can pick it like that. That's all we have to do. That's where it's for processes. All we have to do is say, hey, which one is for you? And go with it. Let me make sure I got everybody message locked in. I can see because they kind of popping up when I'm talking. Okay, yeah, I understand. And you know what? You have to just lead by example and do what you can. We could always say things like, I don't have this, I don't have enough of this, I don't have enough of that. One thing I have learned, family, if I haven't learned nothing else, we just have to use what we get. Start building our art, and you'll be surprised how God will provide for you. Things will happen. Like, but you got to start, and you have to do it from a pure place. Like, you know your heart. Can't nobody else, you know, regardless of what people might say, oh, he doing it for this. You know why you doing it. So don't worry about what they talking about, you know. So I would say just start where you at, do what you can, and eventually things gonna start coming together. The people, you know, that you need, the supplies, the equipment, everything, fam. I started, fam, you know, I started rough, you know what I mean? To be honest with you, everything that I got up to this point, I think about me walking out of prison with $100 check and a bus ticket and a skill set. That's what I had. $100 check, a skill set, and some freedom. Yeah. $100 check, skill set, some freedom. That bus ticket. Yep. And you know what? I think about it now. Everything I did up to this point has been from that. That's been my drive. Didn't have nothing. I just figured it out over time. And I done blew stuff, and messed up, and went back, and came back, and rewind, and went back, and go back to the drawing board again. But that's okay, fam. You know, like I say, they didn't teach us, you know, they drop you in this world and they don't. The first thing that to me, my personal, they left us out of slavery, and the first thing they want to give us is a Bible and tell us to forgive them. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. I'm like, huh? You know, that's why, you know, I have a big thing. That's why I say on my page, you know, I deal with spirituality and not religion. Like, I like to people to be open, but you're going to have to do your own research. And that's why I don't preach to nobody. I just do me. And I feel like, you know, I can do me just like you can do you. I'm not going to come to you knocking on your door like a Jehovah Witness and tell you what you need to do with your life. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to live my life. And if you see some things in my life that encourage you, oh, well, if you got a question, if I can shine my light, that's what I do. But that's what I realize. I'm a life man. And God made me a planter. I plant seeds. I'm always moving my mind. I move a lot, so my mind is going. I plant seeds. I'm not the person that sit back and water it and till the garden. Everybody got a purpose. My purpose was to plant. And I know that some seeds gonna fall on rocky ground, some seeds gonna fall on thorns, some seeds gonna fall on some good ground. You know what I mean? And it's gonna bring forth what it's meant to bring forth to that person. That's not my purpose to do any of that. It's just to give the message. So this morning I just wanted to talk about breaking some of these welding traditions because there's a lot, fam. And there's a lot we can do with welding. So I just want to encourage people to know that even the history of welding, you know, it started back 300 AD, you know, well, BC. And, you know, from our Egyptian people, they had copy making spoons and using brass. You know, welding started, family, this stuff has been going on forever. But if someone would tell you, you know, all we'll think is our history is from slavery and from a ship, you know, that we got sold off, you know what I mean? But we don't know everything in America. And I think that in order for us to be free, especially for our people, as far as Black Native Americans, we're going to have to do a little bit more research, fam. We can have all the college degrees we want, but if we don't have no history of self, if we don't know where we came from, if we don't understand, then we lost. And like I say, my goal is to help us all, fam. Like I realize that we are God's people. You know what I mean? Regardless. And everybody got their people. So we have to be able to help our own and then help each other collectively as a people. You know, that's one thing that, you know, I do like about the military when I look at it. When you look at the military, you see all nationalities of people standing under one flag. I love that idea just because that, man, this is possible. But now let's make it a real reality. Why once the soldiers get off the field and fighting for one another and doing all this, they get back to the communities and somebody want to hang them. Somebody don't like him now. He just died to save their life. Almost died, lost a leg, got shot, went through something. Now he come back, you know, he you know, on his own soil, he ain't a hero. You know, so it just hurts the way the reality is, but we have to break the traditional thinking that if we don't do no digging, you know, we got to do some digging, family. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I don't preach hate. I do preach awareness. I am pro-Black. I do believe in, you know, helping mine. I believe in helping all. So, you know, I got my white brothers and sisters out there that's been loyal, been 100. I got my brothers and sisters, my Asian brothers. I got my native Indian brothers. I got my Arab. I got brothers. I got my Mexican brothers hollering at me like, hey, we connected, family. You know what I mean? We all have to know that we all are connected, and we also all different, and we have to be able to understand that and salute and appreciate every race, appreciate every people, and not belittle people, man. That stuff is just so overrated. Salute, checking in, St. Louis. What's up with it now? I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you learning something from me, man. Like I say, my goal is to lead by example. I'm learning daily too, fam. I stumble, I fall, and the best thing I can do is lead by example. Just tell you, be realistic with you, because most people won't share certain things. Like, they won't tell you how they got there. They won't show the path. If you go through my archives of videos, I at least got over 4,000 videos. And I started out when I started my business in 2016, my first video, I believe, and didn't know how to talk to the camera, just trying to, you know, it takes time, fam. And I wanted to show the path, because when someone finally see me at a certain level, they'll be like, man, he made it there. I wanted to have archives so you can see, nah, it wasn't overnight. It was a hustle. He went through something. He survived this. You see, he was over here. Man, he went there. That city didn't work. He had to move here, like the reality of what it is. But I didn't stop. I didn't stop, fam. And that's what we can't do. We can't stop, family. We got to keep hogging. And that's why I say hog on, fam. Hustle over granted obstacles naturally. Keep going, man. No matter what's in your way, because we're going to have obstacles. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just wake up to something. I seen a meme this morning that said, if you can't find motivation will find you sometime. Hey, it is what it is. It will find you, fam. It will find you. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? just want to say salute, man. This rising, just want to talk about breaking those curses. My goal is to do that with the HogOn University. That's why I changed the name from HogOn Welding LLC to HogOn University, because I want to do more educating, more than just welding. And I also had people say, man, you should change your name for welding. You ain't gonna weld, you ain't gonna do. I'm like, focus on something else. We still welding, we still getting that HogOn, but we doing things differently, man. We gonna do things the way we want to do it, you know. And that's one thing that I love about, one thing, in fact, that I like about America, man. You can create your own. You can do your own thing here, so we don't have to do things like nobody else. But if you come around here, this is how we do it in our community. You know what I mean? We're gonna get our HogOn over here. You know what I mean? Like, however you got to do it. You know, so I don't limit no type of hustle, bro. Like, I like to show, like, I enjoy home vehicle renovations. I used to flip vehicles all the time and sell them. Like, still enjoy. You know, I can. You know, I don't mind showing any aspect of what I do to make it, because sometimes you might have to switch it up. I got here to my hometown, fam. I done did more renovations than I have welding. It is what it is. Now, I've been doing more teaching than I had personally making products. To me, that's what happens. You have to switch it up, depends on what area you in. But I just wanted to say something, man, for the record, this rising. Like I said, I was up, had a lot on my mind, and I just feel we have to break the curses, break these chains. You know, I created the GoFundMe to help one student a month if possible. You know, I started out at 10,000, said, okay, we can do 10 students. And, you know, we got one out the way, and we made it to 900, and I really gone and put the rest and made it happen. Like, so I'm teaching them, I'm buying their equipment, fam. When it comes to the kids, like, I'm not, like, there's no way I'm taking advantage of anybody. You know, even my numbers when I'm charging $1,000 for a 40-hour class, like, what you get from me, you're not going to get from no school. Like, the information you're going to get, the shortcuts, I would say, the wisdom, the tools, the jewels I'm going to pass down, you're not going to get that from a school setting. So, you know, we have to realize that there's a lot of private situations, people with businesses that can help us. But just like, you know, us being in America, we can't get things like, you know, certain people can. It's going to be a little hard for us. So, you know, can't charge you like that certain school to do it, because they probably getting it at both. You know, it is what it is, but I can still help. So, you know, we have to break the traditional ways of thinking that it's only one way to weld, family. It's only one way to do things. There's many ways to do it. But we have to get out of our comfort zone and hustle, you know. Stop asking someone what I need to do when you got a phone in your hand. What you need to do, Google. Literally, it's just that simple. It's that simple, family. It's that simple, family. Stop trying to complicate things. I heard, before I let y'all go, a wise man told me, he said, a fool will try to complicate things to make it seem like he's smart. But a wise man will make things so simple, even a child can understand it. Y'all be blessed. Keep getting your HogOn. I'm out. Black baby.